Welcome to the Double A to Z Sports Podcast, where we cover all things sports from stats and prediction, the ultimate fighting octagon, to hitting a homer with a 3-0 count while being up by 7 or more runs after the 8th inning. We're bringing you a full new dynamic of sports talk, a podcast that keeps you up to date with all sporting transactions, beef, drama, and rumors.
Lillard, long range three.
We're your hosts, Two Ashtons and Zach Smith.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of the Double A to Z Sports Show. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Ashton. Joined with me is Zach and the other Ashton. Today, we're going to discuss some very interesting topics. But first, there's been a lot of breaking news that we need to cover in the NFL. So let's jump over there really quick. Let's talk about the big thing in Aaron Rodgers staying with the Green Bay Packers.
I called it.
You did we all kind of, talked about it and kind of said, what we said about it. Ashton called it. I'm the only one that said if he left anywhere, he would go to Denver, and Denver instantly signed another quarterback, but we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Was it the right move for him?
I think it's the right move for him. He's good. I don't even know what to say. Like, honestly, he's getting old, but $200 million, if that contract is right, is a lot.
It's like 150 guaranteed
for like that. He said that wasn't true. He said that wasn't true, but like, it's probably up there. But like signing a 38-year-old quarterback for such a deal.
Brady signed the same contract.
I don't want to take anything away.
Brady signed the same contract with Tampa, and look what he did in Tampa.
He didn't. But it wasn't that outrageous.
That's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Well, it's still Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a very talented quarterback.
One ring.
I think he deserves it, but I think as an organization, I think it's.
I can't even get that many fingers in there.
Yeah, you're pulling the Michael Jordan where you're wearing like two on one finger, right?
I think it's a good move right now. That's all.
Ashton, what's your take on the scenario?
I think it's a good move for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
$200 million is the right move.
But I'm saying no. What I'm saying is to stay in the NFC. To go to the AFC, you went from the best quarterback to probably the fourth or fifth best quarterback and the probably eighth or ninth best team. So he needed to stay in the NFC. Yeah. I don't know that I would have given, if like Zach said, if it is really $150-something million.
That's insane, dude.
I don't know that I would give an aging quarterback that. I would have maybe a 2-year extension and gave him a huge signing bonus. Or something.
Yeah, not a 4-year.
Nah, he'll never play.
Not a 4-year.
This always comes back to bite him. Like what they just did with Ben. It's like he signed a contract when he was like young, and it came back to bite us. Yeah. Not horrifically, but like they're going to be out of money for a little bit, Yep.
Yeah. Another thing that like I had said that if there was any team he was going to, I'm going to take my glasses off because they're creating a lot of glare. Sorry about that. For anybody watching. Another thing that happened was I had said if there was any team he was going to go to, I said it was going to be the Broncos. Well, the Broncos went out and they made a big ass move. And they brought in somebody that I think is a phenomenal quarterback, a massive upgrade from Drew Lock. Even though they got rid of a lot of stuff for him, was Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has officially left Seattle, and he is now a member of the Denver Broncos. But they got rid of, was it 2 first rounders or was it 3? I think it was 2 first rounders.
A third, maybe. I forget.
2 first rounders, a third, and Noah Fant.
Yeah, Andrew Luck.
Noah Fant was Andrew Luck. But remember how I said that Denver needed that dump-off tight end and Noah Fant for Aaron Rodgers that he could pick up 10 yards.
Yeah.
Noah Fant's the guy that can, run that little flat out. You can dump the ball to him, give him 10 yards. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say this.
Uh-oh.
I think Seattle didn't necessarily win the trade, but I do think they got a lot of good core pieces with those 2 picks, with those 2 number 1 picks and Noah Fant. Drew Lock, you're like, I don't know what you're going to do with Drew Lock. Drew Lock's not a future quarterback. He's a good backup. I think he can be somebody that can develop in a system and call plays like, a decent backup in the NFL like you're supposed to. and maybe run your offense if your starter goes down, like your franchise guy. So here's my question. Who do y'all think won the trade?
I say I'll give it a tier. So if
That's fair.
the Broncos, I would give them an A to an A minus, and I would give the Seahawks a B.
Okay.
I don't think they won the trade at all, but what they gave up, and Seattle's obviously like they're rebuilding now. They just got rid of a bunch of players. So I think it works for both of them.
Yeah, they cut Bobby Wagner too. That was another thing I was going to bring up. But
I think they both won in their own ways, but I think Broncos won by like now a lot more.
Yeah. What about you, Ashton?
I think this will be in a year from now, this will be the biggest non-story. I think Russell Wilson is he's already reached his peak. He is now on the downslide.
He's 34.
He's getting old.
Yeah, he's 34.
This could be a unpopular take because I know everybody loves Russell Wilson. Oh my God, he's so charismatic. He's so personable. No, he had 3 decent. He played in the NFC. He's going to have the Aaron Rodgers problem. He's going to be, instead of being the second or third best quarterback in the league, now he's the 7th or 8th best quarterback in the league. Denver's going to squeak in the playoffs, and this is going to be a non-event. He's going to be a Pro Bowler again because the 2 other quarterbacks are in the finals of the conference, playing for the conference finals. So I mean, I'm not sold on Russell Wilson. Sorry.
So here's my thing with Russell Wilson.
A system quarterback.
I don't disagree with you. I hate to say this. I don't disagree with you as somebody that who's I don't want to go too far deep into personal relationship, but I've met Russell Wilson. He roomed with my cousin at NC State. He roomed with Drew Polk, which was my cousin at NC State. And I mean, I know Russell, not like super buddy best friends things, but I've met him. I've had dinner with him, but when he was in college. But I don't think that looking at that relationship, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, he's so good. Russell was a good quarterback who came fresh into the league at his time, and I think his time has passed. Now, I agree with Ashton that he's going to be a Pro Bowler because every year Russell always has those first 6-7 games.
I think the AFC's
where he plays like an MVP, and then out of nowhere, it's just like the Seahawks lose like 7 in a row, right? I mean, it's happened. It's happened in the past where they won like their first 5 or 6, and then they just drop.
We got to see how the hand injury comes back.
That too.
He's getting old, so
is that on his throwing hand or is that on his offhand?
I think it's throwing.
I don't know if it's throwing or offhand. But another thing the Seahawks did, which is I already brought it up, was they released Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
So where does Bobby Wagner go? Does he retire? He's another old dude. Where does he fit in best? Where do y'all think he might go if he does go anywhere, or if he retires?
That is a very good question. I think the Steelers need an inside linebacker, but
Dallas spends so much money on washed up defensive players. I mean, I figure that's where he'll go.
Well, Dallas just cut. Oh, that's
traded.
Dallas made another terrible decision. But before we get into that, I want to finish up the Bobby Wagner saga. I think Bobby Wagner, another team that could use Bobby Wagner, and utilize him very well to develop their players would actually be Carolina. I think he might actually fit in well with Matt Rule's scheme because they run a 4-3. So I think that he would fit in pretty well with that 4-3 offense or defense, sorry. And it's the same 4-3 that he ran in Seattle. So I think he can mature and develop players in Carolina like Hassan Reddick, those guys that are there. Shaq Thompson, I think he can play alongside of those guys pretty well, and give them that veteran presence. The Patriots is another team he might go to. They run a 3-4 though. They don't run a 4-3. They run a 3-4. But they can still throw him at middle linebacker. I think Bobby Wagner has plenty of options. The Bills, that'd be another team, alongside of Tremaine Edwards, or Tremaine Edwards. I think
Edmonds.
It's whatever Edmonds. Yeah, there you go. I think that's a pretty good fit. But wherever he goes, I think he'll definitely cause an impact. maybe the 49ers alongside Fred Warner. You know, there's a couple places he might fit in pretty well.
You gotta remember how Seattle released him too. He found out on Twitter. So
Yeah, he did.
That could burn him. That could burn him a little bit, and he could sign with LA. The Rams have plenty of.
They have,
I mean, just as a spite move.
Or he can sign with the Bengals, and you know the Bengals have cap space. He can sign with the Bengals, ride the Bengals coattails for that season or two. But also, we're not going to bring up the Dallas news yet. Let's bring up two players that got franchise tagged, which are Mike Gesicki and Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin coming off an ACL injury, and I didn't know if he was going to be franchise tagged or if they were going to let him walk because they didn't feel that he could still play to his potential. As a Brady guy, I'll say I was a Buccaneers fan for 2 years. I'll still say I like Tampa Bay. You know, I respect Tampa Bay is what they've built. Chris Godwin was probably just as good, if not better, than Mike Evans at the time when he got hurt. Brady was finding him, targeting him. Godwin's a great receiver. Is he worth the franchise tag, though? Is he worth that 20-some-odd million to where, you know, Tampa Bay loses Ryan Jensen? They lose some offensive linemen. They lose the defensive player to keep Chris Godwin. And he's a young player, but is he worth that $20 million for this one season before you can sign him to his contract?
I think it's a little
because they're still in a net plus because Brady's not there, so they're still coming off net plus. So they had that money to burn.
Yeah, and their wide receiving unit has been very good, and I don't see why not to.
You mean Mr. Super Gremlin?
The Super Gremlin.
The Super Gremlin.
So him and them three by far were the best wide receiver trio. Even anything,
in a while.
Yeah, like
in a while, yeah.
It's gonna be something to see without Tom Brady throwing to him, but I think they're talented enough to be fine.
See, this question still is who's throwing to him. See, that's another thing. Why pay this guy $20-some-odd million if you only have somebody to throw the ball to?
That's another argument you can make.
So who's throwing? I mean, but you know, another.
Sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, they can find with that core of wide receivers. They can find somebody to have an above average.
Jimmy G. Jimmy G's a good fit there, I think.
Look who you're in the division with.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
James Winston.
Yeah, no.
Not even. He's not coming back to New Orleans. It's Matt Ryan's the best quarterback in that league.
Yeah, that's rough.
And Sam Darnold's
that's
second.
Tough. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough. Matt Ryan being the best one is a little tough. It's a toughie.
So if they can get a C quarterback and go to the playoffs, win the division and go to the playoffs.
Well, how about you throw your name in the hat? You can throw a football.
Oh no, I can, but the problem is I can't. Probably can't pass a physical.
Yeah, you're right. Another big thing was I know I mentioned Mike Gesicki, but we'll come back to that in a second. Calvin Ridley is being suspended the entire 2022 season for basically pulling a Paul Crew and, you know, shaving points off a football game, like in the longest yard. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I think a lot of people get away with a lot of things. And
he was hurt. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It was Calvin Ridley. Okay, I think betting on your team it's obviously not a great thing to do. I think a whole year suspension is maybe much, but
pulled a Pete Rose, bro.
Yeah, but it's not, you got to the NFL has to put their foot down, so because they absolutely do not want that to happen. But I don't know. I think it could be either.
Well, all right. So on the transaction list, just so you know, it says the NFL suspended Calvin Ridley through at least the 2022 season for betting on NFL games in 2021 or in the 2021 season. So could it go longer than the 2022 season? And if it does, how does that affect the Falcons?
Oh, yeah. I think if he bets why he's suspended again, then he's going to get suspended longer. But what you got to realize is the NFL has a partnership with these gambling websites.
Yeah, with FanDuel and all that stuff.
The players know, from what I read, the players know they are not allowed to gamble. And the websites, these companies have to report when a player gambles immediately to the NFL.
Yeah.
So he knew better than that. So I mean,
I agree.
It was only $1,500, but you knew the rules.
I mean, dude, he makes millions of dollars. What does these $1,000 bets got to do with anything? What is it?
That he was hurt. That was coming in one night on probably early Sunday morning. He sat on his couch, turned the TV on, and is like, "I'm throwing down $1,500 on my boys tomorrow." That's exactly what that does. I guarantee you, he was drunk. I mean, I hate to say that.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Unfortunately, you're probably right. But you got to live with the consequences, unfortunately. So hopefully, it works out for him. Also, the Green Bay Packers franchise tag Devontae Adams. I think that was super smart, considering you don't want to let go of the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best receiver right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
Even though you just re-signed Aaron Rodgers to a grandfather $500,000 million deal, and wasted all your cap space.
Hey,
but also,
hold on. We got.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. We got breaking news
Uh-oh.
from
What do we got?
ESPN. Tom Brady is joining Tampa Bay for his 23rd season.
Really?
He just said.
What's
on
up?
Really?
Let's go! Brady's back! Brady's back! Dude!
Well, there goes all of our conversation.
Brady
Godwin's a top 10 receiver again.
Back! All right. Screw our guest. No, I'm kidding. So now Brady is unretiring. So now is Gronk coming back Gronk's got to come back now. So
whole squad's running it back.
is Ali Marpet coming back?
all of a sudden, they might have cap issues.
Oh, but yeah, you're right. All of a sudden, that's $40-some million on the book unless they restructure his deal. Which that could be the case.
Sure.
That could be the case.
Sure.
Dude, if that was the case, that was the biggest chess move by Brady in the history of chess moves. Because
He'll take a $25 million sign-in bonus and probably play for $13 million.
that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, that could have been the biggest chess move to get his cap off the book, and then just dude.
Well,
Brady,
can they get in
Brady
trouble for
pulling
that?
a knight. Brady pulling a bishop to D6. That's what Brady just did.
If that's actually the case,
a rook to 5/7 or F5, whatever.
I think they're going to get in. I can't think he wouldn't get in trouble for that.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, that is insane that Brady's going to unretire. He retired for what, 3 weeks? 5 weeks?
2 weeks.
A month? Yep. But that's insane. Welcome back, Tom Brady. Welcome back, Tom Brady. Pulled a Brett Favre. Was gone for all of 3 weeks. But the unfortunate scenario, or the fortunate scenario here, is that there isn't an Aaron Rodgers right there to replace him. But now let's go over to we just talked about Tampa Bay. Let's go all the way over to the other side of the pond. The Chargers re-signed Mike Williams to a 3-year, $60 million extension, and they also acquired an amazing linebacker in Khalil Mack. And they didn't really get rid of a lot of stuff to acquire him.
Two very good moves.
So, two very good moves there. So how do you see the Chargers next season, coming off, even though they were right there at the grasp of, making the playoffs? How do you see them performing next season? Do you see them being a playoff team with Khalil Mack?
Yes. I think just with Khalil Mack coming back, Mike Williams he's a good receiver. I think Khalil Mack is the bigger addition. But
I agree.
Defensively, they've kind of been rough. But offensively, they have 900 weapons, so I don't see how they could lose.
I mean, you got Keenan Allen, their tight end. That's
Jared Cook.
Eckler.
Williams.
Eckler, yeah. They got a squad over there, dude. Their problem is protection. Herbert doesn't have a lot of protection. They need a little bit more offensive line. But also other breaking news, Michael Gallup from the Dallas Cowboys just signed a 5-year deal with a $62.5 million extension. This comes after trading away Amari Cooper. So I was going to bring that up now too. The Browns acquired Amari Cooper for literally cookies and milk, from what I think is the best way to describe it. So I feel bad for Amari Cooper. I feel really bad for Amari Cooper. He's going from a goodly average quarterback in Dak Prescott to Baker Mayfield.
How do you compare Dak to Baker?
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
think
you know,
Baker's not
he
very
goes from
good.
that's what I'm saying. He goes from a good quarterback to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Hey, it's kind of like the contract that he had.
Dude.
The Cowboys had to get rid of him, so they're like, here, just take him. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, dude, they got cookies and milk. They literally got
Nothing
milk and
beats some
cookies for
cookies
him.
and
Like,
milk,
they got
though.
nothing. They got a 5th round pick and a 6th round pick. Like, they got nothing for him.
Actually,
Like,
they
I mean,
swapped
the
6th round
Browns
picks.
stole him. Yeah, they stole him.
So they pretty much traded
literally
Amari for a
stole
5th round
him.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, they stole Amari Cooper, and it's like Amari Cooper is one of the best receivers in the league too. Top 10, top 5, wherever you want to put him. He's arguably in that slot, you know, somewhere in that range. There's another player Odell Beckham's going to underthrow and overthrow.
Baker.
But you know, I think I'm my mind's still wrapped on Tom Brady coming unretired. Brady's unretiring. So Ashton, your NFL hopes just completely went down the drain. You know, regarding of like, you know, pending physical and all. I mean,
Your
does
starting
that
job has been
bum you out a
taken.
little bit? Your starting job's been taken by the GOAT again.
I'm glad I don't have to do any running and
Throwing.
try to get in shape. So I'm good.
Yeah. So how do you think, with what with what I just said, the Cowboys and the Browns, who do you think is going to perform better this season, between Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup?
That's a good question.
I mean, it depends. I'm not convinced Baker Mayfield is going to be the quarterback in Cleveland. So that's the huge question
same.
mark.
That's tough. I want him to sign a max contract so the Steelers can play him twice every year. But who knows?
But let's also jump to another division because we're jumping all over divisions here in the NFL. Carson Wentz also was traded from the Colts to the now Washington Commanders. How do you see him fitting in with Ron Rivera and his scheme over in the newly built Washington Commanders?
I think it's an upgrade from who they had last year.
Heineke.
Fitzpatrick.
Heineke.
Oh, Heineke, yeah.
Fitzpatrick first and then Heineke. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand where all this hatred for Carson Wentz comes from.
I don't understand either.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's not
The
that
guy
he's
had
bad.
average,
27
but, like,
touchdowns and
yeah.
7 interceptions last year. And
Yeah.
that was a bad year for him, personally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
he
think
also-
his
he
ceiling's a
also
lot
gotta-
higher than...
You also got to think he played with a breakout running back last year with Jonathan Taylor, who's got to get his touches. So, like, he never played with a running back like that. Besides, I mean, who was his running back in Philly? He had LeGarrette Blount, but didn't he have I mean, that was when LeGarrette Blount was like,
Jay Ajayi still with
decently
him?
good. Jay Ajayi was there, so that's who I was thinking of, was Jay Ajayi. So he's no stranger to playing with good running backs. I think Antonio Gibson's gonna have a breakout year this year.
Yeah, he needs to.
I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year. That's the Commanders running back. And not to mention, they have a great receiver, and I'm gonna say he's a great receiver, top 10 in the league. And Terry McLaurin is speed on fucking wheels. He is a damn Mercedes-Benz ready to just flatline and go.
Yeah, he's very good. Because they also they have another receiver who he didn't play at all last year with Curtis Samuel, and he's pretty good.
He was a
too.
former Carolina player.
So I think they're both very good receivers, and especially with Carson Wentz, he is an upgrade from Heineke. So I can see McLaurin going crazy next year with someone like Wentz. Even if he's slightly above average or like just average, I think it's a step up.
Yeah, I think Carson Wentz is going to have a good season, but also another thing that's kind of happened was Jordan Hicks, who had a decent year for Arizona, got cut by Arizona. I mean, he just got completely ousted. Do y'all see? I mean, is there any reason why? Has anybody seen any reason why they just got rid of Jordan Hicks? He had a good season last year. Age?
I don't know his
maybe?
contract, but it's most of the time age and money. And if they're both there, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, he's almost 30. He's like 28, 29, so I think he's on his way out. But I mean, like, I don't know what his money was, like his money situation. And also Dallas franchise tagged Dalton Schultz. That was a smart move by Dallas again, you know. But I mean, is he $20 million? Like, is he worth it?
20 million?
That's what a franchise tag is. Franchise
tag
is like the max
average.
deal.
It's average of what everyone makes.
It's average of the position. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, so he's probably not.
See, I always thought it was
much.
like, you know, the max of that position.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
No, it's the average of the whole position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Which sometimes it is 20 million, but.
Yeah, wide receivers I know is 20 million.
Yeah.
Wide receivers are 100% 20 million because like Chris Godwin's contract is like almost like 22 and a half or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But all right, let's jump ships. Let's get away from the NFL. I know there's a lot of stuff. Let's talk college basketball for a second. And to do that, we're going to bring in a very special guest, someone who's near and dear to my heart, a good friend of mine when we talk college basketball. This guy is somebody I played high school with for a little bit, as well as rec league and stuff like that. This guy played at Belmont Abbey for 4 years. Is it 4 years, right?
4 years, yep.
4 years at Belmont Abbey. Everybody, please welcome to the AA to Z studio, Zach Sowell.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Yes, sir. How are you doing today, man?
Yep.
I can hear you great.
All right. I'm doing well, man. Yeah, thank you for having me on here. I'm doing well. It's a good Sunday over here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, did you watch Selection Sunday at all?
I've been looking it up, but I mean, they're still choosing right now, right? So, I mean,
well, that's the women's. The men's already done.
So I've been looking it up, and I mean, I really like Zag a lot. I like that kid Chet.
Chet's nasty.
Yeah,
I'm
rooting for the young kid, but you know, also just coach used to say, if you're in it, you can win it. You know, so I know there's going to be some dark horses and some underdogs pulling those early wins.
My school almost became a dark horse team, but they lost the championship.
You're in the MAC, right?
They lost the championship.
Yeah, y'all are in the MAC, right? You go to Kent State.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They lost to Akron.
Yeah. Oh, they lost to Akron.
So Akron's in it now. Yeah, they're 14th seed.
Akron's a 14 seed. Yeah. So y'all would have been a 14. Y'all would have been a 13, 14, 15 seed, somewhere around that. Maybe the play-in team, I think, probably at not 16, but like the 11, 12 play-in team, whatever it was. But dude, I think like that whole Selection Sunday, like the whole process, like looking back at it, there's some weak bracket. There's like a weak region. Gonzaga's bracket's tough. That's a tough bracket with Duke and everybody there. I mean, me and Ashton were talking about it live. Like that
Duke guy, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's all right. Hey, that's good basketball, man. That's fine. It's always
Coach
good basketball.
I
I pull for ACC teams usually, like no matter what, you know, anything here in the North Carolina area, I can pull for you. I grew up a Wake Forest and Tar Heel guy, but
Tim Duncan was our boy.
You got to respect Duke. You know, they're a great program, and I didn't lose any sleep over Coach K losing his last home game.
You son of a bitch.
As a basketball fan, though, you got to love it, man. I definitely respect the Duke guys.
I don't think we're no longer friends here, Zach. You know, we need to rethink our friendship, man.
No, we are.
No, I'm kidding. You know I love you. But, you know, so let's talk a little bit about you.
Sure.
So everybody here can kind of get to know who you are. So just so you know, obviously, you know, I play basketball. I've played with you in multiple aspects of basketball. I've thrown you a couple lobs, but you know, Ashton here, he played high school basketball as well as Zach. So the other Zach, that is. I know it's going to get a little confusing here.
Two Ashtons, two Zachs.
Double.
Two Ashtons and
double A
and double Z.
I dig it. Yeah, I dig it.
Double A and double Z today. You know, it's one of those things. So either any three of us are probably, you know, let's do a little Q&A with you a little bit, you know, kind of get to know you as an interview. So anybody here wants to ask questions, we can. So sure. I'll start by asking, what was it like going through the recruiting process in college?
Going from high school to college,
Yeah.
Man, it was
and
awesome.
Who all was interested? Who all was interested? I know you ended up going to Belmont, but who else was like, you know, there in the running with you?
So Belmont's a Division II, and I got a full-ride scholarship there, so the parents are really happy about that, of course. That was kind of with the distance away going from, the coast to Charlotte is about a 5-hour drive. So I was like, I'm far enough away from home, but not too far away from home. So I feel like it was a good vibe for as far as location goes. Other schools that were interested, because to be honest, when I first visited Belmont, I visited twice, and I liked them a lot the first time, but as the relationship with those coaches and the players that I ended up playing with, I could just tell. I was like, yeah, this is the group I want to play with, But
Right.
Other D2 schools, and there was a ton of them, was Barton College in Wilson, North Carolina. I really liked them. They had gone to the NCAA championship for Division II, maybe 4 years or so before I had got there, before I joined college.
Was that with Ant Atkins when he played there?
Yep, Ant. Yep.
Former Globetrotter, by the way.
Yep, and so he was their point guard, and Barton's just known for always. I really liked their coach a lot. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he was an awesome coach. I want to say Liebenstein is what I want to say, but just he reminded me a lot of McClanahan at West Carteret, just like that. Like he's a tough
evil
guy.
Genius.
Yeah, like he's got your back no matter what, but he's the kind of guy that he'll throw a piece of meat out there and make you go get it. He's like,
yes,
he
will.
He wants to play. Like let's get the dogs out here.
Yeah, Craig was that guy.
I really liked the coach at Barton a lot, and they were always in the running, like whenever it came to the conference playoffs and all that for us. So I ended up playing against Barton. Another one that I really liked, you kind of just got to go see them because some of these schools you don't know the names of them, but their facilities are so nice, and like some of these coaches, like the assistant coaches, are really the ones that they're the guys that are calling you. They're like they build a personal relationship with you. And another school I really, really liked was a Division III school. It was Hampton-Sydney University, and that's in Virginia. And their facilities were super nice. Like there was so many, some of these coaches just make you really feel like they really want you. And that made a big difference to me. Bigger schools, I talked to Radford a lot. I talked to Richmond a little bit. I talked to ECU, but at the time, ECU, they had just switched their head coach. So they brought
I remember that.
That was the year they brought in a whole new group. Mm-hmm. So that kind of spoiled that. But originally I was like, obviously their facilities are super nice. Their colors are sweet and it's close to home. I was like, I could go from being hometown hero in Morehead City to hometown hero in Greenville. And
so somebody here super smiled when they heard ECU and their eyes lit up. So he went, Big Ashton went to ECU, Bald Ashton went to ECU.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So,
hey, well, and I had a lot of friends that went to ECU, so that was kind of a little bit of a dream for me, but
CJ, Matt, Chris, they all went to ECU. So the Dodge brothers, they all went there. Dalton was there too, I think, for a little bit.
I do have a question.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Throw it at me.
So like a lot of people say like D1 or nothing kind of thing. Was D2 like your thing? Like you felt comfortable like everything doing that?
Yeah, I felt comfortable with it, but of course, every player that plays in college basketball, they want to go D1.
Yeah.
Like I grew up watching ACC basketball. Like originally my favorite team was Wake Forest with Chris Paul and back in the days, and just those battles with all the Carolina teams were that's the dream. That's what you want to be a part of, and. It kind of just happened that way. You're, aim for the, what do they say? Aim for the moon, you land in the stars or something like that. Yeah. It's like, everyone wants to be a D1 player, but then, you kind of look at what you got versus, bird in the bush, bird in your hand kind of thing. And I'm like, this is a great offer. And so it was just the right route for me.
Because a lot of people, they like, how do I explain it? It's like they underestimate how good D2, D3, and like it's still still high level play, and people don't understand that. It's like it's not because it's not D1 doesn't make it's like less worthy of like a praise.
It was really important for me. Like to have good coaches and like people that they're your friend, but also they're pushing you. Like they don't let you get away with nothing. They're pushing you to get better every day.
Yeah.
And having a winning culture and no matter what level you're at, I get pretty pissed off about even just men's league now. I play in a couple leagues here in Charlotte, and I'm like, I get a little over competitive. I'm like, all right, it's just, we're just having fun on a Wednesday. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but it's always, no matter what level you're playing at, having that, like you're playing to win. You want to get better every day. You want people around you that, like whenever you're working really hard, you might get frustrated with each other. Like you're battling every day trying to get better. And, having good people around you that want the same thing, that's how you do it, man. So it just, for D2, D3, D1, it sounds good, D1, because you're on TV all the time and stuff like that. But overall, just having a winning culture and being a part of something like that is, that was really important to me.
So I'm going to toot your horn a little bit here because I'm going to say the obvious. You could have easily played D1.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could have played D1. You're what, 6'8", 6'9"? 6'7"?
Yeah, on the internet, I'm 6'8", yeah.
Yeah, on the internet. Well, and I mean, Zach's a big dude. So, like, honestly, and I'm completely transparent here. Zach's probably the truest big guy that I've ever played basketball with. Like, when I say truest big guy, like, he has phenomenal footwork in the paint. He's a great pick and roll player. He can even step out and shoot. I mean, he can step out. He has tools for everything. He can take you off the dribble. He can do anything. Like, and when I say Zach could easily play D1, Zach could easily gone and played D1. Now, do I think he could have? And this is where it gets misconstrued. Do I think he could have gone to Duke and Carolina and dominated? I mean, I think he could have. I think he could have played at Duke and Carolina. But those obviously you run into people that are just as good, if not better. Mm-hmm. And at the time, like, seeing as good as you were in high school, like, I mean, dude, you were phenomenal in high school. I remember you and Saunders had plenty of battles, like at Trelletan and West.
Those are the good old days, man. I reminisce about those all the time.
All the time. I'll never forget Don hitting that, or Don and John. Love John, love Don.
Yeah.
But they took control of one game, like against.
Right there. Yeah.
They took control of one game against Trelletan.
Outlet pass, fast break. Yeah, if we could push it on you, that's what we were doing.
That team, I'll never forget my freshman, sophomore year at West, and being on JV, watching you guys, and I was just like, holy shit! Like they were so good. I was like, this is insane. I mean, they all got the rebound, and it was just, I was like, holy crap. And it was like, I was just flabbergasted. But but it was awesome to watch. But you could easily play D1.
I do think I could have played D1, and I got friends that, I played AAU with, and there's 300 something colleges of,
hey, yeah.
And there's more D2s and D3s than there are D1s. Like if you can get a scholarship and find a good program that has what you want, as far as like, to me, it's important to win. I'm not going to try to go to a college that has a losing record multiple years in a row, like no real direction. Like that was what was important. But yeah, whenever it comes to D1s, some of those, like, it's D1, but maybe they're not. It just depends on
the right fit for
the direction they're going. Yeah, fit is what it's really all about. There's a guy I really like that I've been viewing from afar, the guy Ellingsworth from West right now. I know he's got some looks, and it just reminds me of a lot of similar stuff I was going through, where talking to his family, he's saying, hey, like, we got interest from here, but you kind of get spread too thin trying to wonder what you could have and all this. And like, going into senior year, I already knew where I was going to go. I was trying to sign early as possible.
I remember you told me that. I had a conversation with you one day at lunch where I asked you, I was like, do you know where you're going? You're like, yeah, I'm going to Belmont Abbey. And I was just like, well, hey, you do your thing. You go do your thing. You're going to kill it.
It was really comfortable for me personally to know where I was going to go, and because then all you got to do is focus on playing hard, and just
Hell yeah.
in this working out, trying to get I always tried to gain weight before the season, and then during preseason workouts, you lose about 15 pounds. But every summer going into school, I would just be protein shake, working out twice a day. Like you saw me at the A Quad every day, So
Yeah, I sure did.
But yeah, for me, committing a little early was really comfortable and good for me. And like people, like just like we're saying, you want to wait out and try to get the biggest school possible, but it's not always the best fit. And a lot of these people end up transferring anyways. We had a few
There's a
people,
lot of transfers. Yeah,
and it's kind of untalked about a lot. But yeah, like D2 especially, some of these teams, they'll have 3 people transfer from D1 down to D2. And, it's just a better fit for them, and they'll play for a really good D2 team instead and win the championship that way.
So speaking of like better fit, just to kind of touch on that, what not like what made it a better fit or anything, but looking back at like, I don't know if you ever like practiced at all with the other teams, like while you were going through that. If you
can
like,
they have like an open gym.
Like that?
Yeah, they'll do like open gym. Whenever I was on recruiting visits, they would do open gym sometimes. And what made it, when I knew that I really wanted to play at Belmont Abbey, was they had really good guards. Like the class ahead of me, when I was a senior in high school, when I went there, and those are the guys you're going to play with. So like you got the seniors that are in college, and I'm a senior in high school. Sorry, I just threw this. You're not even going to play with them. So I was trying to vibe on my visit more with some of these freshmen and sophomores. And at the time, the class that was ahead of me had 4 really, really good guards, like scoring guards, point guards. And I kind of gelled with them really good. And in my class, we had some forwards, and it just kind of fit like a glove. Like that's why my junior year is the year we won the conference championship, because we had just really good chemistry between those guards are all seniors, and then we had good forwards and power forwards underneath them that were a year younger, and it was just the right time, right place, and we were really good.
So I'm sorry to break this real quick, but we got a little bit of breaking news here at the moment again.
Sure.
As we were, talking football earlier with the whole Tom Brady unretiring situation. Don't know if you heard about that. Brady unretired. But Kirk Cousins just signed a 1-year, $35 million extension to keep him through the 2023 season with a no trade clause. So Kirk is staying in Minnesota. I wouldn't say stuck. He's staying. We'll get thoughts on that later. But Ashton, do you have any questions for Zach? I know you've kind of been quiet, and you're a big basketball guy.
What do you think about the new transfer rules? Like, especially
question.
for D1, where you can just kind of hop
So,
around. I think you could do it once.
So you give me a refresher on what the actual rule is, because I know when I was in school,
like
if you transferred, you had to sit out for a year, and
you don't have to now.
So
you
now
don't have to sit out now. You can transfer one time. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's interesting. I know. I mean, I guess that's fine. I mean, you're only there for 4 years, and it goes by so fast. So before, if you have to sit out for a year, everybody knows you're good. They want to see you play, and they got to wait an extra year. So to me, I think you should be able to play as much basketball as you're capable of, while you're young and healthy. So I could see that as being the positive side. The other side is, people are going to hop around or just, it kind of makes you seem a little dirty if you throw in the towel on one school and go to another one and go play right away. I could understand the punishment of sitting a year, but on the other hand, I do think you want to play as much basketball, and people want to see these young guys play as much basketball as they can. Sitting out a year,
and kind of building off that, how do you feel about the NCAA finally letting players use their likeness to make money?
Oh, I think that's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, back in the day they used to have the NCAA basketball game, and they would change. It's like 2K but college, and they would change your name to like a generic name or whatever. And it's like everybody knew that it was Tyler Hansborough, but it just had like another name on there. And so I mean, I think that's cool. It's as long as they do these guys right and keep it organized and pay people appropriately. Of course, like they deserve to get a little cash back for that.
Now, see, if that was a thing when you were making your decision, like if the whole player likeness thing was a thing, looking back at it, would you have tried to actually have gone D1 instead of D2 if that was actually the thing?
That would definitely be something I'd think about. You want to, if they're playing, whether it be a game or just for a video game,
monetary value,
or getting some money back for using your likeness. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see myself everywhere. Who wouldn't want to see that?
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Any more questions?
Who would you have gone to if you could have had a deal? What is it, NLI or NIL deal? Who would you have gone to try to work out a sponsorship deal?
I mean, whatever the money's
We're
right.
Talking about like
whoever talked to me nicely. I guess it'd all depend on that. I never had anyone talking to me that way, so I don't know exactly how I would. I'd probably be. I would have gone to Taco Bell. Say it again.
Would have gone what?
I would have gone to Taco Bell or Bud Light. One of those two.
Yeah. Probably at the time, some type of pre-workout or protein shake. That's what I would have been down for. But
see, that's why you played college sports and I didn't.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
The extent of Ashton's college career was a toss out to the right and getting creamed by a middle linebacker and never setting foot again on a football field.
I got some friends that have some bad highlights on YouTube, and that's like their claim to fame. Yeah, again.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, dude,
guys
Sean
getting dunked
Bradley
on by somebody, or there's always
Sean Bradley made a living. Sean Bradley made a living of being the 7'6" dude that got dunked on by everybody.
Yeah, he's a target. Yeah,
but it was sad because Sean Bradley wasn't a bad player. He's
on Space Jam.
It's just
he's killing it. Yeah,
it's a valid point. He was,
and he's solid. Yeah, and he's solid.
So was Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah. Shout out Hornets.
The opposite. Yeah. Shout out Hornets. So looking at the NCAA now, as far as like this season, who is your first team to say like I'm going to jump on their bandwagon? I think they're winning the NCAA tournament. And who is your sleeper right now? Like somebody that could like come out of nowhere, surprise you, be like, dude, they are wow.
Tar Heels are always a tournament team. There's certain teams similar to that are, they might not be the top 10 or whatever, but they'll kind of put it all together, peaking in February, getting ready for March, and you can't count them out. It's not, even if they're the underdog, you can't count them out. But I don't know, man. I always like Baylor on the recent incline for them, of them just being just huge, and like the way they play is really athletic and huge. I like Baylor a lot. Gonzaga, I said I'm kind of pulling for them because I like seeing that young guy do really well. I gotta study the bracket a little more. I haven't even made mine yet, but all these top teams that are kind of in the running, I think they all have a chance. If you're in it, you can win it. And so we just kind of see how it plays out. I hope Duke loses early, but other than that, I mean, I was watching Houston versus Memphis earlier, and I was like, I don't even think about Houston, Texas, because being over here on this side of town, but like some of these teams that are just physical, hard-nosed players, like you can't count them out like that. Like everybody, if you coaches say in it, you can win it. Like we went into the NCAA as an 8th seed, And but we were just as confident that we could win a few games and make a run for the tournament. At the time, we were really, really good, coming off a bunch of wins. And some of these teams that, if they're really gelling at the right time, they can make a run. Dark horse, I could look up the list. But
speaking of the team that you just said, the team that everything's clicking and they can make a run.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, very good.
Virginia Tech. They
always
that team
really
is just, but they're just out of nowhere. Just,
Mm-hmm.
they beat Carolina, they beat Duke, they beat Notre Dame, they beat Clemson on a buzzer beater. What else do you want? That's a team that that's an 11 seed right now. I get that they wouldn't be in the tournament if they didn't win the the ACC tournament, but still, dude.
Yeah. If you're on a roll, man, you don't want to take anybody lightly, really, because you come from all over the country. You might not have played each other. Sometimes it does work out where you play a team that you play normally, but a lot of these teams are just different styles of basketball. Some of these matchups are going to be really, really fun to watch. You know what I mean?
And that's
I always love the 9 and 8 ones. I love the 9 and 8 ones. Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
The cool thing about it is how a lot of the conferences you have to win your championship to even make it.
Mm-hmm.
They're all coming off a huge win streak. They had to win to get in. It's they're all the teams that are in it are rolling, So it's not like the seeds probably
Well, to be fair, is Yale really rolling, or are they
stumbling?
In. Is Yale really rolling?
But you know what I'm saying? It's teams like Akron.
There's some smart guys.
It's not an academic decathlon here, Zach. It's a basketball
I'll take
game.
what I know. So
hey, well, looking back though, I can say going to NCAA for Division II, I know it's different, but it's you're on your high horse, man. If that feeling you get, that adrenaline you get, you're everyone's watching. The time is now. There's only how many times you're gonna go to the tournament personally.
Yeah.
In your life, this is the moment. Everybody rises to the occasion. You just
the one shining moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's crazy. Any other questions from you guys before we move on to our next segment?
I'm good.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next segment. Zach, you are the second guest of the podcast.
All right.
And this is my most favorite time of the show. If you look on the screen here, this is a segment that we call Blockbuster Trade. Sponsors on the show. We have sponsors called Wallkicks, Rogue Energy, and the other one isn't a sponsor. It's more of I just give the product away, is Dunham Sports. Ashton happens to work there, so I kind of sling out some moolah there to give some stuff away. But our sponsors sponsor some giveaways, stuff like that, so that way you have an opportunity to win not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 9 items that you can possibly use around your house. So these are sports questions that range from, hard to worst. Obviously, tier 1 are the easy ones, and then all the way down to tier 3.
Right.
Ashton, the other Ashton here, is a lifeline. You can use him twice throughout the whole board. You might not even need to use him. I know you have a vast knowledge of sports. You might not even need to use him. But if you need to use him, just be like, hey, I'd like to use my lifeline. Unfortunately, you can't use me and Zach. We wrote the questions.
Yeah.
So, so you can't use your other Zach pal.
Didn't expect that little pop quiz. I'm down.
Yeah, a little pop quiz. I know it was a little awkward. So if you're ready to get started, we can slide right into question number 1 and go from there. You ready?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right. So question number 1: what is the historical name of the Chicago Cubs' home field?
I should know this. I'm gonna say. If this is the easiest one, this is going to be a long one. I want to say Fenway. I might be wrong.
Is that your final answer?
Nope.
I'll give you a hint. Fenway is Boston. Not sure.
All right, yeah, I'm not a big baseball guy, to be honest. Yeah, I know, I'm making you guys disappointed in that. I can tell by the reactions.
Of all of the fields you can think of, It's Fenway and another one. It's like the other most popular one.
It's the other most popular one. I'll give you a hint. It has it has Ivy in the back in center field, right center
I
field.
don't think that's gonna help either.
Ivy. So if
Ivy.
someone's dehydrated, they can get a little water back there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna wait. Who's my lifeline again?
It's Ashton.
All right. If Ashton knows it, I'm using my lifeline. First
There you
question.
go. Let's see it.
I'm gonna say Wrigley Field.
That is the answer. It is Wrigley Field. So Zach, you have won yourself
IE?
a
What's that? What did you say?
Yeah.
IV?
Wrigley, WRIGLEY, Wrigley Field.
All right, cool. Wrigley.
Wrigley Field.
Good answer.
You have won
Thanks,
yourself.
Ashton.
You have won yourself a scented Wallkick from Wallkicks. It is the shoe that's behind me, but goes in your car. They have multiple. They have multiple shoes. I'll send you their website, wallkicks.shoes, and you can choose a pair of scented Wallkicks, and you get those. They come in a variety of flavors. So let's go to number 2. How many NBA championships did Michael Jordan win?
6.
And that is the correct answer. Yay!
Yeah.
Where's my media?
No.
All right. So let's stop that. All right. So you have won a starter kit from Rogue Energy.
How many misses do I get? Like if I would have guessed that last one. None.
So no, this is
go through it.
interpreted to we haven't ever set any rules to this. So
Okay,
I'm just gonna
cool.
let you go all the way through.
right,
You
so-
only can use Ashton twice.
yeah,
though.
I interrupted. What did I win? Sorry.
You want a Rogue Energy starter kit. I'll send you the link to Rogue Energy. It's sports drinks, kind of like hydration stuff, energy, like Monster, stuff like that. That's like G Fuel, kind of,
Okay.
in a way. Another alternative to G Fuel. So question number 3. Did you put the same...
Ah, crap.
That was
there we go.
Wrigley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind. All right. So what is it called when a bowler bowls 3 strikes in a row?
So there's a strike. There's.
I'll give you a hint. It's an animal.
It's an animal.
It's an animal.
Can I give a hint?
I wanted
Yeah,
to.
You're the
absolutely.
lifeline.
Thanksgiving.
That's the yeah.
Gravy. Yeah. No.
Answer, gravy.
Is it a turkey?
It is a turkey.
All right.
Yay. He said
An
another
animal.
hint.
Turkey.
An animal is a horrible. There's like 3 billion animals.
Yeah.
Like
but
a
like,
caterpillar.
Thanksgiving? Like, damn, dude, just,
Here's a hint.
All right.
We're on
And
level
the answer.
1. Calm
I was
down.
trying to think of a good one.
You're
I was
lifeline.
like, oh, it's an animal. He's a cheetah.
It's a cheetah. So you have
Cranberry
won
sauce.
Cranberry sauce. You have won a mini basketball hoop that goes on the back of your door from Dunham Sports.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, so you can be sitting in your chair, right there, having some fun, and yeah, exactly. Work on your free throw.
Can use that. Can use that at work. Yeah.
Mess up your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mess up your shot. Absolutely, start alligator arming it.
Yeah.
All right, so question number 4, moving into the harder tiers, by the way. What was Muhammad Ali's original name?
I've heard it a bunch of times. This is, Homer Simpson. No, I can't diss him like that. It was something with an A, but I gotta miss this one unless I got a lifeline again.
You have 2 lifelines, so you've already used one. You have one more left. Do you want to use it now, or do you want to save it?
No, if these guys know all the questions, I want to save it.
Only me and Ashton do, not the lifeline. So
Yeah, like other old Ashton here doesn't know the questions that we're
Okay.
asking. But
I
I will give you a hint. he has the same first name as a guy that played at Duke when his last name was Stanley about 2 or 3 years ago. His last name was Stanley at Duke.
Yeah.
Only Duke fans know that.
Nah, I got.
This is a better one.
I don't.
As soon as you
really
tell
know.
me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's right, because I've heard it a bunch of times. But
He's the
I'm
Michigan
sad that I
State
don't know
player.
this.
The same name as the one Michigan State player that was really popular. He was shorter,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
but I mean, it might not help. So
It's the Michigan State. No, I gotta
Something
get this
Winston.
one wrong. I guess I don't.
Take a
I'm
random
sorry.
guess.
shot in the dark.
Hulk Hogan.
Good guess.
No, I don't even.
Unfortunately,
Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay.
Cassius Winston, Cassius Stanley.
That's not what I was gonna guess. So I didn't want to even. I didn't even want to murder it. I was gonna make an embarrassing attempt.
Yeah. It's all right.
Jimmy John.
Moving on to the next
I
question.
didn't win that prize.
They didn't win that prize, but you have multiple prizes you can win. So Kobe Bryant wore number 8 and number 24 in his 20-year career with the Lakers. What number did he wear in high school?
My number 33.
Yes, sir. See, I knew somebody would know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the basketball questions. I hope.
Yeah. Number 33. That's right. You were 33. I forgot about that. I should have known that. Damn. We should have erased that question, Zach. We shouldn't have even had that in there.
No, that's,
whatever.
Hey, no, that's good for the viewers. That's good trivia right there.
That is great trivia. So you have also won yourself a medium wall print from Wallkicks. So it's going to be a little bit smaller than the shoe, but it is almost the same thing. So you get to choose, whatever you want to choose.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'll send that to you as well. Absolutely, of course. So next question: how old was Tiger Woods when he won his first Masters?
You got to be old to play golf, I think. At least a certain age. At least a certain age. I would, if I was gonna guess, I would guess 25.
You want to go 25?
I'm going 25.
Unfortunately, it was 21.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting him to be that young either, honestly.
I know.
Yeah, I thought it was like 24.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you. Like I was.
I gotta watch the doc because I know it's a good Netflix doc on that. And I know he's a prodigy. Like he was out there early, but I didn't imagine it was 21.
So Tiger played in his first professional PGA Tour tournament when he was 13 years old.
Yeah, I heard.
That's
I
crazy.
know it was
13
early
years
for sure.
old.
13
years old. Crazy.
That's tough. And yeah, what a guy. He's won a bunch of them, so it doesn't make. I don't doubt that it was 21 starting early.
Yeah, I mean he's got plenty of green jackets. So moving into tier 3, you still have one more lifeline left from Ashton, which is good. You saved it.
Yep.
You saved it for the last tier. So I'm gonna warn you. Last week, I'm just gonna give you a sneak peek. Last week we asked to name the starting 5 of the St. Vincent St. Mary's high school team.
Wow.
From 2003 with LeBron James and that stuff. So be prepared here. It could be a little tough. Our guest didn't know anyone, but Ashton obviously knew one, which was LeBron James.
Oh wow.
I think everyone knew that one.
I think everybody knew that one. Even I knew that one before I Googled it. But so question number 7, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
What NFL team was originally called the New York Titans?
You mean what is their name now?
Yes.
What is their name now? What team was originally called the New York Titans?
Well, I guess I would guess the Tennessee Titans.
Want to go with Tennessee Titans?
Unless they stayed in New York.
You have 2 rounds to go.
Big brain. Big
Yeah.
brain. If that's the case, you got a 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight 50-50.
All right. I will help you out here. I will say they stayed in New York, so I'll give you a 50-50 lifeline here.
Let's see it.
All right. Well, it was the Jets.
Wow. Ding, 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 ding. It was the Jets. Yeah.
That's some good teamwork. Thank you for
It was either
So,
Tennessee,
yeah.
it was either Tennessee, Jets, or Giants. So
Yeah.
That is from a point guard to a big guy lob right there is what that was. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So you have won a wiffle ball set from Dunham Sports.
sir.
Yeah, the junk ball set.
throw the
Yes,
call.
sir.
Dig it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Nice.
Dig it. Yes, sir. Of course. All right, question number 8. What is the most stolen base in baseball?
I would say they steal 2 second the most.
You think they steal second the
They
most?
go from first to second. Yeah.
That is the correct answer. Second base.
Nice.
Look at that. That was supposed to be a trick question the way it was worded. But now you have won a Rogue Energy 3.0 tub. So you get like the tub of like, the mix.
All
That
right.
Instead of just the starter kit, you get the
Yeah.
tub.
I
So,
wasn't a good
you know.
baseball guy. When I was young with Bambi legs, I had a huge strike zone. And
Yeah, I can
but-
say that.
but I,
Call third
once-
strike.
luckily I found basketball and I didn't have to play baseball anymore.
So I'll have a question for you after this about when you were younger.
Yeah,
around
sure.
the time when we actually met.
Okay.
Because I met you when you were around like 12 and I was like 9 or 10.
Uh-huh.
But we'll get to that in a second.
All right.
So question number 9, last one. Oh no, that's not the that's not the question.
keep clicking on.
All right, question number 9. What was Tony Parker's career high in points?
If I was going to guess, I would say probably like 39 or 41.
Man, you're not putting any respect on Tony Parker's name.
This is hard. Man. There's literally
Hey,
millions of numbers, millions and
He's
millions.
he's a team guy. He's never.
That is true.
He's very fast.
That is true.
He scored a lot of layups. He wasn't really a big shooter like these guards now. I mean, he could shoot, but that's not what he's known for.
Yeah. He was a mid-range guy for sure.
Yeah, the number
Like
will
off the
surprise
dribble
you.
mid-range guy. The
His-
number will surprise you.
It surprised me.
I don't think he's.
I even know the date. I know the date because I was a Tony Parker guy.
Yeah, and I love the Spurs and his heyday as well. Number will surprise you. Okay. Well, wait. Is this the last question?
Yes.
This is the last question.
Do I have any help with a lifeline?
You have
Can
a
I-
life. You have a
If he
lifeline.
knows it, yeah.
Let me.
That's it,
Yeah. Hopefully he's googling right now.
I hope you didn't Google that.
No, I'm just teasing. Don't cheat. Don't be a turkey. A cheetah. Don't be a cheetah. No, I'll go for it myself. I think it's 45 points. This is his career high.
45 points. All right, Ashton, what do you think his career, like his high point?
I know. I can't remember, but I was a creature of habit, and I watched Sports Center every morning. So I'm pretty confident that I remember him hitting at least 51 games. I have no idea what it is. I know it was a 50-something.
There is a list of players that, they all hit 50.
He's had 3 50-point games, by the way. Tony Parker has.
I didn't know that either.
They were all in the same season.
What's the
They were
highest
all back-to-back
50-point
games. There were 3 games in a row. He had 51. Oh well, all right.
So it's 51?
No. It's not 51.
Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you the answer. You said
Reveal it.
45, but
Reveal it.
I'll give you the answer. It was 55.
55.
He had 3 games in a row. Against LA, Toronto, and then against Minnesota. So
right.
in LA, he scored 51. In Toronto, he scored 53, and then against Minnesota, he scored 55.
Wow.
And all of these games, he shot 10 3-pointers each game, and he hit like 5.
Wow.
He shot 50%
Okay.
from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
But
man,
like,
he's
he was
a
only
fast
open
guy.
because they were just double teaming Tim Duncan the whole
Yeah.
game. Like the whole first half, he was just shooting threes.
Yeah.
And then he came out in the second half and was just hitting pull up jumpers like Tony Parker does.
I know
Well,
what
Zach?
highlight video I'm looking up after this.
Dude, he went off in Minnesota. You have to go watch it. It's insane. Well, Zach, thank you for playing that
Yeah, thank
that
you.
game
did pretty
show.
good,
You
yeah.
won some pretty good items. I got them
Okay.
written down, so I know what you got. Well, Well, Ashton, do you have any questions for him? Any more?
Oh, man. Enjoy the stories. Takes me
Zach,
I do
you
not.
got any questions for him?
Nope.
All right. Well, Mr. Sewell, it was wonderful catching up with you and chatting with you after a couple. I mean, dude, it's been a little while. It's been almost a year.
It has, yeah. Thanks for having me
Last
on,
time
man.
yeah, of course. And last time I played basketball with you was in that 3-on-3 tournament, and we lost in the semis.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, man. But that was for a good cause too. It was a good day that day.
Oh, it was a wonderful cause. That was a wonderful cause. So,
And we were balling out. Yeah, you were. Yeah, like that whole tournament, bringing everybody together for that cause was really good.
Me, you, and Justin Locklear, we played our asses off.
Yep. You guys
And
were shooting the heck out of the ball. Yeah, that was.
We ran into Saunders and that's what really we ran into Saunders and his group and that kind of.
I
feel like
guys.
if we would have beat them, we would have beat Jack and them. But you know.
Yeah, I love those guys.
I love those guys.
Yeah, and they're a couple years younger than me, and it was just, it was kind of like the time, whenever you're not the. Well, I still always think I could be the best in the gym, but whenever you're playing against and like there's someone a couple years younger than you, and you're like, you're next, like.
You hear that, Ashton?
Yeah.
You hear that, Ashton?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You hear that, Ashton? Yeah. When are we getting back on the pavement?
Oh gosh.
Tell me, man.
But no, that was a good time, and yeah, man. Whenever I come back to town, I'll definitely hit you up. We gotta link
Absolutely.
up and get some shots up.
Yep.
Do some down screen jumpers. Do a little 3-on-3 action.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw you some lobs, just like the old days.
Sure.
Well, dude, thanks for joining us. And if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to hit me up. And if I'm ever in Charlotte, I'll definitely hit you up, and we'll go. We'll go have some fun.
I'll get us some Hornets tickets. Yeah, I'll show you off around town. Yeah, we'll have a good time.
Yeah. Show me off around town.
Yeah.
Woo! I like the sound of that. I'm single, ready to mingle. Yeah.
Good.
No, all right. Well, you have a great night, Zach.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. You guys take care.
You too, man.
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
buddy.
All right.
All right. Well, really quick before we get out of here. Last thing that we'll go over really quickly because I know Ashton's got to get going. The breaking news that I read out: Kirk Cousins staying with the Vikings for it was a $35 million deal for 1 year that keeps him through the remainder of next season, through the 2023 season, and he has a no trade clause. Win or lose, obviously a win for Kirk Cousins, like money wise, but is it really a win for him in like performance? Is he going to win? Like, are they able to actually compete?
Yeah.
Or is it a bad move by the Vikings?
I think he's a good quarterback.
I think they panicked when Aaron Rodgers re-signed with Green Bay, and they were like, "Oh crap, we got to have a
make
quarterback."
sure we have one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is he worth $35
I don't know,
million?
that's But
Well, I mean, like,
I think he
he's-
must have a
I think
tree
he's a good
money.
quarterback.
somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, the Minnesotian
The
money.
state tree of Minnesota
it's
is the
growing on
money tree.
trees. It's growing on trees. Well, other news around the sporting world is the MLB lockout is finally over. It's finally over. Give me some clapping. Yes, it's finally over, and it's opening day. Let me see when opening day was scheduled for. MLB opening
It's
day,
April 7th. Is it the 7th?
March 31st.
No, that was the old one.
Oh, that's 2022, March 31st.
That was the original one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Opening day, new day.
I know the Pirates' first game is
April 8th.
4/12.
April 8th. That was
April
close.
8th is the is opening day now. Looking at the new CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. Did the players win? Did the owners win? Who won?
They both won.
It's a win
I
for
think they both
baseball
got what they
fans.
wanted.
Yeah, it's a win for baseball fans.
Yeah.
So now that all of that's out of the way, Sonny Gray got dealt. Literally the first trade, Sonny Gray got dealt for a minor leaguer and somebody else to who was it? Sonny Gray went to the Minnesota Twins, from the Cincinnati Reds to the Minnesota Twins. But looking at the free agents that are out there now, now that the CBA's kind of set in place, who's the first big name to get signed and where?
Wherever Freddie Freeman goes, I think he's a big one.
Where's he going?
Probably the
Is
Braves.
he going to the
The Braves are
Dodgers,
gonna resign him.
Yankees?
No.
You think
he's
they're gonna
staying with
match?
Atlanta.
I think
You think they're
going
gonna
to
match?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're signing.
Okay,
the
so
stuff.
Freddie
It'll
Freeman
be-
stays with
it'll be-
Atlanta.
It'll be Monday or Tuesday when they announce.
I gotcha. That would make sense. You know, I would 100% like love to see Freddie Freeman back in Atlanta. They have the cap space to do it too. Chris Bryant. I know we talked about this last
I
episode.
honestly
where,
couldn't tell you where he's going to go. Probably the
You think he's-
Dodgers. I mean,
No, I don't think he's going to the Dodgers. I think he's going to go to the Phillies and team up with Bryce Harper.
I can see that too. It's just
They're best friends.
Like I said,
They're
it's
best
annoying
friends. I think that's going to
it's
happen.
annoying being a fan of a small market team.
Yeah, being a Pittsburgh fan. Ashton, I don't really know. Who do you like in baseball?
Braves.
I'm a Braves.
Oh, yeah, you said you're a Braves fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that will do it for this episode of the AA to Z Sports Show.
Yeah, number 2.
Please follow us on Instagram at the AA to Z Sports Show, on Twitter at the AA to Z Sports Show, and be sure to tune in on Monday and Fridays for new episodes of the show. And go Duke!
Gotta end it off with that.
No, I'm not. But everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Double A to Z Sports Podcast. Please leave a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for more content.
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his 5th! What a comeback!